guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we're continuing the night of Dragon Ball Heroes. We have got a lot of Dragon Ball Heroes characters to go ahead and take a look at. So now we're looking at Golden Metal Cooler. I like what he's got going here. I think both this guy and Reconstructed Janemba could actually be quite impressive next year. I think next year, they probably will get their Dokkan Awakenings, right? Because at this point, these are going to be the only characters, Dragon Ball Hero characters, that don't have Awakenings, right? Just these two new SSRs, Golden Metal Cooler and Reconstructed Janemba. So this Metal Cooler here, he's getting 30% attack and defense from his super attack effect, which is fine. He gets 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. He gets a guaranteed additional with a high chance to be a super. That is written in the way that we like it, right? Because that means he's gonna, have a better chance to get the hidden potential system additional, since he is going to be doing these additionals a little bit more often. So that is good. And then he gets 20% damage reduction at the start of turn. And then here's where, all these heroes characters, like, we end up always saying it, right? He gets 30% attack up to a max of 150%, and then 6% damage reduction up to a max of 30% with each crossover category ally in the team. So he does have to have a crossover team. That's what hurts all these characters, right? Because if we take a look at Golden Metal Cooler, let's go ahead and take a look at the categories he's on, right? He's on, what? Crossover, Resurrected Warriors, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Artificial Life Form, Dragon Ball Heroes, and then Kuroda Body and Mind. I mean, it's fairly obvious. You can count a number of categories this guy is on that really could use help. Any type of help at all could really help a lot of these different places. But he pretty much has to be used on a full crossover team. It's stupid. That's the problem with these characters. I don't mind if they're not like, oh my god, like putting, LR Final Form Cooler to shame. The Heroes characters are so good. It's just, I really hope next year that they could just get away with these limitations to running them on the crossover team or the Dragon Ball Hero team. That those to me are the problems, right? In terms of his links, he has what? Strongest Clan in Space, that's Auto Regeneration, Fusion, Deficit Boost, Shocking Speed, and Cold Judgment. But he has these Metal Cooler links, like, awesome, dude. I'm so happy we have these Metal Cooler links. Except we have to run them on the Heroes team. Dude, like, hello? Am I drunk? Like, you created a character in which his links do nothing because he has to be run on the crossover team. Now, if we take a look at him here, I looked at his info and I was like, okay, maybe this guy actually could be decent. But, I mean, that 88k defense at the start of turn, I wouldn't say that's particularly good. Even with 50% damage reduction, that's not good enough. So what I think is going to happen is Golden Metal Cooler could actually be pretty good next year, right? I mean, a simple fix, I would imagine, is he gets the 30% attack per crossover ally. If that was 30% attack and defense, that would help him out a lot. Oh, he has one last thing here, which is he seals his own super attack if your HP is 30% or below. I don't mind that if he was way better defensively. You guys know I'm always saying, like, I don't even care about the offense on this character. Just give me more defense, right? I think Chi-Lai has one of the best designs in Dokkan history, right? Where Chi-Lai is just, like, all defense, and she does, like, 300k attack stats and stuff like that often. I think a similar thing for Golden Metal Cooler is good. But it's like, as an SSR, it's not, like his stats are just not high enough. He has 50% damage reduction, which is good. But we're not in the days anymore where it's like, oh, you have 50% damage reduction, or you're just guarding and you're good defensively now. It's like, no, you need to be guarding and you need defense. You need damage reduction and you need defense, right? You need to dodge and you need defense, right? You need a scouter and you need dodge, right? Like, these bosses are so powerful and hit so hard that you need several different types of almost like defensive abilities to sort of stack on top of each other in order for them to actually be like truly super good, right? So that's, again, that's one thing we got to keep in mind. So I think Golden Metal Cooler and Reconstructed Janemba actually, you know, the term I've been using, you know, recently is like this. Typically, I'm referring to EZAs, right? Like the skeleton of its kit, like prior to what it's going to look like with EZA. Like you can usually tell, like if an EZA character is going to be super good, especially nowadays, right? I think Golden Metal Cooler and Reconstructed Janemba next year could be very easily be super good. But it's just like, let's pray that they just, like, literally, these units would be fine, right? If they didn't have the goddamn stupid, ridiculous, moronic dumbassery that is, the restriction to, like, crossover team and stuff like that. It just doesn't need to be, it's not needed. So, here he's at 111k defense, right? And then let's say he triple supers, so he's going to get 30% defense 3 times. So he's going to be up to like 200k defense with 50% damage reduction. So that's the thing, right? We could potentially see, like, you know, if he had a lot more defense just at the start of turn, just like actual defensive stat, he would actually be, I think, pretty solid. Man, this guy's TUR, if like they change it to where it's like crossover and Wicked Bloodline or something like that, like, or Crow to Body of Mine or something, like, this guy could be pretty good. Dude, it's such a bummer. I mean, Corroded Body and Mind, Artificial Life Form, Full Power, Resurrected Warriors, we're talking so many teams that is dying for help, and they just don't give, like, these characters a chance to help these teams. Like, that's one of the best things about these Dragon Ball Hero characters is, again, the amount of different teams and setups that they could actually help. And Dokkan just doesn't really allow it to happen by making them all, like, you know, needing crossover and heroes and stuff like that. I'm just not the biggest fan. Because it's like, you know, you're, like, this Golden Metal Cooler, I mean, he's not gonna make it onto, you know, the 200% Wicked Bloodline team. Are you guys shocked by that? Like, he's not making main rotation on Wicked Bloodline right now. He's not better than LR Golden Frieza, LR Final Form Cooler, LR Metal Cooler. Like, yeah, sorry. So how about we make it to where he's a great asset to the other teams? That's the main thing I'm looking for here. And that, unfortunately, is kind of the miss, I think, that Dokkan has dropped with really a large portion of these heroes characters. It's just limiting them to this team specifically, I think is hurting a lot of these characters really quite a bit. Get rid of these restrictions, and again, I think that they actually would be in quite a bit of a better position, right? Because even, like, I just, like, you know, burst mode is out. Burst mode, I mean, let's be real, it's pretty ass. I think burst mode is not great, right? Like, it is, sorry, like, burst mode is just not really good. But, like, you know, it wants us to use, like, specific categories and typings. Like, it was another event where, like, the STR Super Saiyan Family Kamehameha Goten was useful, right? Like, if you look at from when that character originally came out, the amount of events and stuff like that character's been good and useful in is a lot. And I just think of, like, how, like, potentially, like, Hearts or something like that could be good in some burst mode. I mean, he probably still could be, right? But it's just the way they limit them to this team, it hurts quite a bit. This is a pretty good rotation for Golden Metal Cooler, right? Again, we have a lot of support up. Golden Cooler is... I gotta do the video on, like, Golden Cooler next. He's just so good. I think that Golden Cooler is crazy. He's super strong. But yeah, I mean, we're pretty much seeing what Golden Metal Cooler can do, right? He's not gonna be super nuts this year, but next year after he gets his EZA, I think potentially we could see Golden Metal Cooler actually be a pretty formidable option, right? And again, let me get the video out for this guy really soon right here. This Golden Cooler, this guy seems strong. This guy's crazy. I think Golden Cooler, he might have quite a bit of use. Golden Cooler, he might actually make it onto the Wicked Bloodline team. Maybe, man. He might be good enough. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Golden Metal Cooler. Again, I would say he's like, well, he's ass right now. But between the additionals and stuff like that, I think he's looking pretty good. Okay, this is confirmation. So Hearts, yeah, in order to transform on turn 3, Hearts, the whole team has to be extreme class. Yep, okay. Because the reason this Hearts is able to transform right here is because he's been hit 5 times and it's past turn 5. This Hearts can't transform because he hasn't been hit 5 times. So in order for Hearts to transform turn 3, it does have to be a full villain team. Okay. But yep, let me know what you guys think of Golden Metal Cooler. Ass right now, but with the ability to triple super and then 50% damage reduction, like if they just skyrocket his defense for next year, I don't mind the fact that he seals himself. I don't think that's a big deal if he was better defensively. I feel like that's a good way they could make characters better defensively by then nerfing themselves offensively at certain points. I think that actually could be a good idea to make characters stronger defensively, right? Because Dokkan, like, they balance these units. Oh, they've got a 500k defensive stat and they're doing 10 million attack stats. They're great. It's like, well, take away, 4 million off that attack stat to defense and I'd like the unit better, right? But y'all, blah, 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 blah. Y'all get what I'm saying. Golden Metal Cooler with his awakening next year could be pretty good. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.